Hello, welcome to CES 2014. This is PCMag Live. I'm Dan Costa, he is Sascha Segan, and we've got a great show for you today. It's day one of CES, and we are here at the show with all of the latest news. CES set off with a bang last night with a keynote from Intel CEO Brian Krzanich. And the great thing about this keynote is that he did not focus on PCs. He talked about wearables. He talked about a lot of innovations, and we haven't seen those types of innovations from Intel lately.
I feel like Intel is flailing a little when it comes to the post-PC future. I mean, for a while, they were focusing a lot on phones and tablets. Asus announced some Intel phones yesterday, but the Intel phones don't really seem to be breaking into the US market.
And they're not available in the US. I mean, it was great phones. He showed up great, Johnny Xi showed up great benchmarks, but no one can buy those phones in the US, and they're probably not going to be able to anytime soon.
But Intel is completely aware that their stronghold, the traditional desktop laptop PC, is on its way down. It's going to become a specialized business productivity, tool. Yeah. And the mainstream of consumer electronics products is going to be these things: phones, tablets, wearables, all these places where Intel is weak. So this big chip maker needs to turn the battleship, and that's sort of what Krzanich is trying to do.
And they're still the leader in the CPU space. They're still the leader in the desktop and the laptop space. But he showed off headphones that can monitor your heart rate. That's a fantastic innovation that's going to have a lot of implications for a lot of consumers, and that's where Intel's positioning themselves, is that they're not just a chip maker anymore.
But on the other hand, these are things that a lot of their competitors are doing. I mean, you see Qualcomm doing this kind of thing, you see TI doing this kind of thing. Intel is, I mean, to some extent, I really feel in wearables, in mobile, they're playing catch up.
Yeah, a little bit. But there's all these different, they also showed off smartwatches, which is another major theme of the show. A lot of smartwatches being launched here. And if they can get a placeholder in that space, I think that's good for them. And especially the smartwatch application they showed, because we've talked about smartwatches and how they're looking for that killer application. Geofencing, tracking your kids, that's a great application for smartwatches. There's a few applications out there, but there's no standards, there's no big mover in the space.
Well, absolutely. What else we got?
We got the Sony Xperia Z1s. Another new device.
Z1s.
Z1s.
It's not the Z1s. You keep
Z1s,
saying that.
Another device that if you look at the spec sheet, fantastic phone. If you look in a wireless retailer store and try and find it, hard to find.
One of the great mysteries about these Sony phones is that Sony is right now making really good phones for AT&T and T-Mobile. And the Z1s is well-designed, elegant, waterproof, has a 20.7 megapixel camera, so you can do the lossless digital zoom. They have this really good camera app with all of these interesting sort of overlay applications. Like you can use it if you take a photo of a book, it'll find the book on Amazon. So Sony's doing a lot of really interesting things with these phones. But at the same time, their presence in the US market, where are they? Okay, they're being sold, but they just aren't pushing it in a marketing way the way Samsung is, which is a pity, because I was handling the Z1s, and this is a class act. And this is going to be on T-Mobile, the phone with the best camera, hands down, I have a strong suspicion.
Very cool. And then I got back to Twitter late last night. My Twitter is blowing up with Michael Bay sightings, and Michael Bay blowing up. He was at the Samsung announcement of their 105-inch curved OLED TV, or UHD TV. And evidently his teleprompter failed, and this is news for CES?
Well, I mean, it's always news when somebody who should be prepped for things has a spectacular flame out.
But not PCMag Live. When we're not prepped, not news.
Exactly, and so if we flame out, it's just par for the course. But Michael Bay, of course, you want to use the words Michael Bay, an explosion, flame out, any sort of phrasing like that. And what happened was the teleprompter failed, and he was just like, I have no idea what I'm talking about.
I got nothing.
And then he left. He dropped the mic, and he just walked out. So this morning, he posted something on his personal blog saying, listen, I'm really sorry. I do really like the Samsung TVs. I have no idea what came over me. It sounds like the guy just had a panic attack.
Yeah, it happens. That is why we don't use teleprompters here at PCMag Live, because they're bound to failure. Technology fails. We don't use those types of crutches on a high-end show like this. Also late last night, AT&T was having a party. All the major vendors have parties here. But there was an unexpected guest at the AT&T party. That was John Legere, the CEO of T-Mobile, who was spotted, captured. I don't know how he snuck into AT&T's party.
I can explain.
I don't think he expected to get through unnoticed.
Okay, John Legere is a fan of the currently popular rapper Macklemore, who was AT&T's musical guest last night. And he got tickets through Macklemore's agent without going through AT&T at all.
It's beautiful.
So yeah, so he was on Macklemore's
But his
guest
name
list.
must have been on a list somewhere.
It was on Macklemore's guest list, not AT&T's guest list. Now the question is, was he, afterwards he was all, genuinely, oh, I'm just here for the music. But was he really just there for the music, or was he there for the publicity stunt?
No,
that is
stunt.
the great mystery. He goes in, and a guy from CNET does a selfie of himself with John Legere, posted to Twitter. The AT&T PR team see this, and burly AT&T security escort the CEO of T-Mobile out of the concert.
Fantastic. See, there is drama here at CES, and it's not all just product related. We are obviously not in our labs in New York City, so we don't have a full lab full of equipment to pull stuff out and get you one cool thing.
But I have
However,
a small pocket full of equipment to pull stuff out of.
We do. One cool thing, we just found this on the floor. This was launched yesterday.
This was,
Or it's launching today,
This is
perhaps?
just being launched right now, and this is the Netgear Mingle for Virgin. And what's important about this is, I don't know if you've heard about Sprint Spark, but this is the new faster Sprint LTE network. It's currently spreading throughout the country. It's higher speed, they say maximum of 50 to 60 megabit speed. In our tests, we've seen, more like 20 or 30. And the important thing is that this is the first prepaid hotspot for this network. The great thing about this is that you can have a day pass of as low as $5 a day. You only need to pay for it when you use it, and you can just, for instance, have one around.
Yeah.
You're not paying an ongoing fee. And if you need to go out somewhere, okay, like let's say you go out once a month, twice a month, you need a hotspot, you have this in a drawer, you pull it out, you pay for the day pass when you use it, and you get that Sprint LTE network.
And that's the model that people are really clamoring for, because not everybody needs broadband data in their pocket all the time, 30 days a month, but a couple days a month, you'd really like to be able to have it, and you don't want to have to pay a monthly fee for it. This sounds like this would be a great solution.
Yeah, so this is the Netgear Mingle for Virgin. You can find out more about it, of course, on the Virgin mobile website, and we'll review it, hopefully, as soon as we get back from CES.
Indeed. That has been PCMag Live for day one. We will be back tomorrow. We will be back the day after. We've got a huge crew here at CES bringing you the news. You can find all those stories at PCMag/CES. Please join us tomorrow. Leave us your comments in the comment section, and we will be back tomorrow. Thanks for joining us.